I don't think there's anyone in America who's done more to raise awareness about the rise of Islamism in America than Amy Mack. President Trump has quote tweeted her a few times. She is the one who blew the lid off the whole Epic City scandal. And this woman is a legend. I think one day her services should be formally recognized. And I'm so happy that she's actually being heard far and wide across the United States. So she just gave a testimony in Congress. Let's have a listen. This is Amy Mack. She just nuked Islam in Congress.
Distinguished members of Congress, my name is Amy Meckelberg. I'm founder of Rare Foundation USA. I come before you today out of profound love for this country and at great personal cost. For 15 years, I have documented Islam's assault on Europe and its dangerous advance inside of America. For defending Western values, Islam and its left-wing allies marked my family for destruction. They stalked us, they attacked my loved ones' careers, and sent death threats. Today, I travel with armed security. A simple walk, a grocery run, opening my front door, none of it is safe anymore. Islam has taken that from me. The hardest part of this fight, though, has been watching my friends pay the ultimate price. On January 29th, 2025, my friend Salwan Momika, an Iraqi Christian who fled to Sweden to escape Islam, was slaughtered as I watched. Sweden put him on trial for hate speech, for telling the truth about the threat that killed him. Salwan predicted his own assassination. He knew because the Sharia penalty for criticizing Islam is death. A 1,400-year-old war is being waged inside our country. Muhammad, the man that Muslims call their prophet, was a military commander whose mission was to bring the world under Islamic rule. The mission cannot be completed until America falls. Islam is a hostile totalitarian political ideology using our freedoms to destroy us. To every non-Muslim, it offers three choices: convert, submit, or die. It does not stop until every court, every school, and every government on earth is under Sharia. The Muslim Brotherhood turned this imperative into a modern conquest strategy. Two seized documents, the 1982 project and the 1991 explanatory memorandum, detail their two-front plan. Build parallel Islamic societies that reject assimilation while their faithful capture our institutions.
Now, what if I told you that there is a better way of making money? Just this year, something interesting happened. While everyone was busy arguing about energy transitions and climate targets, the real world quietly reminded us how things actually work. Global infrastructure is booming. Military spending is surging. Entire regions are building at a pace we haven't seen in decades. And all of it depends on one thing: steel. Around 1.9 billion tons of steel are produced every year, and every single ton requires metallurgical coal. Not as a fuel you can swap out, but as a chemical input with no large-scale replacement. No coal means no steel. No steel means no warships, no fighter jets, no infrastructure, no modern defense systems. That's not ideology. That's physics. In fact, the US government recently declared a national emergency to expand coal supply chains, recognizing just how critical this material has become. Which brings us to Forge Resources, trading as FRG on the CSE and FRGGF on the OTC. Forge is positioning itself right in the middle of the supply crunch. Their flagship asset, the La Estrella project in Colombia, isn't some speculative idea. It's fully permitted and actively advancing, sitting directly inside a supply chain the world is scrambling to secure. And Colombia itself is emerging as a key global supplier of metallurgical coal with strong trade alignment with the United States and growing strategic importance. Meanwhile, prices are telling the same story. Met coal has pushed toward $240 per ton in 2026. That's not a random spike. That's the market reacting to a structural shortage. Here's the reality most people miss. The biggest driver right now isn't demand, It's the lack of new supply. And when supply gets tight in something this critical, the companies positioned early tend to benefit the most. That's the space Forge Resource is operating in. If you want to understand where steel, energy security, and global defense trends are heading, it's worth taking a closer look. Check out the link in the description to learn more about Forge Resources and whatever they're building. Now let's get back to the video. She's not making it up. Let me play you just another little video, just so you understand, because a lot of people, a lot of people watch my videos, so some people could be watching it for the first time. Therefore, it's important for you to actually conceptualize what she is saying. Have a listen to this Muslim in America openly saying what he's saying. His life's mission is to fight the US government, the US Army, and ICE until his last breath. They openly say it, they broadcast it.
As a Muslim, my response to all of this is do your worst. I'm not afraid. Because even if this body is broken, the spirit inside of it, you cannot reach. And it will continue, and Allah will replace you. Whether I see that or not is irrelevant. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the US government. I'm not afraid of the United States Army. I'm not afraid of ICE. I'm not afraid of whatever they control. Not only am I not afraid, but it is my life mission to stand against all of the above.
Clever. It's a stand against all of the above. US Army, why? Why? Because these people have different set of goals. They have different ideas of running a society that is inherently anti-American. Let's get back to Amy.
The Brotherhood wrote the playbook. Today, every hostile Islamic regime and faction is executing it on our soil. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, Qatar, Pakistan, Hamas, the Taliban. Different countries, different sects, all marching in lockstep towards one conquest. These networks operate more than 8,000 Islamic nonprofits across America, including 650 in Texas alone. They built a parallel infrastructures, mosques, seminaries, school, Sharia banks, Sharia courts, Sharia clinics, charities, media, and political networks. They have no plans of assimilating. Texas and Florida are the Brotherhood's command centers. They are the clearest example of the first strategy: build massive fortresses where Muslims can live cradle to grave under full Sharia. In Texas, terror-tied Imam Yasser Qadi is fighting to build Epic City, a 402-acre Sharia compound marked as, quote, the epicenter of Islam in North America. And
this is Yasser Qadi.
Very clearly that the ultimate loyalties of every Muslim must be unconditionally only to the Creator,
i.e. Allah. Here's him again, a bit more passionate.
Loyalty is not to any nation. It is to the Creator of nations. It is to Rabbul.
That's the guy Amy is talking about. He is trying to create a Muslim-only city in Texas, which was recently given a green light by a woke judge in Texas. But Governor Greg Abbott has put an appeal against it. He's saying that this city, this segregated community, will not see the light of day. We're the lefties, we're the wokies. They fought against segregation, and now they support these people. The judge who did it, he gave a green light. He's definitely a lefty woke.
in Katy, an $80 million Sharia compound is rising under Brotherhood operative Main al-Quda, whose family are leading terrorists in Jordan. Hamad Ghazali, named in the 1991 memorandum, recruited Americans for al-Qaeda. Today, he writes curriculum for Islamic school children across North America. Texas taxpayers are able to fund him through school vouchers. Across America, the Brotherhood is buying churches and converting them to mosques. A Lubbock school became a Brotherhood mosque in 45 days. In Dallas, 2 imams who preach hand amputation, sex with captives, and stoning adulterers are suing to seize a Christian megachurch. Garland, Texas hosts the U.S. headquarters of a Pakistani jihadi network that trains hundreds of terrorists, including the recent killer of the West Virginia National Guard member. In Florida, third-generation Brotherhood leader Magda al-Qadi Salah runs a self-contained Tampa enclave. A Houston mosque led by imam appointed by the Iran's supreme leader received $1 million in tax dollars while children pledged allegiance to Khomeini. Another Hamas-supporting Tex mega mosque, hosted public school field trips while its imams preached that the fathers and brothers can kill adulterous daughters. Members of Congress, there is a little Muslim American girl right now born in Texas under our Constitution with every sacred right our forefathers fought and died to give her. She will never know any of them. Her own father, imam, and teachers raise her to believe she is worth less than half a man, and Islam's texts command this. If she is beaten, it is her fault. If she is raped, no American courthouse will hear her screams. If she is married off as a child to a pedophile, she will never know it is a crime. She is shielded from her birthright, raised to hate her own country, trained to subvert it. There are thousands like her and growing fast. This war's second strategy captures our institutions and cultures from within. Their operatives have penetrated our State Department, our courts, our school boards to subvert the Constitution and replace it. Hamas, doing business as CARE, has trained 50,000 lawyers, they boast of this, journalists, filmmakers, influencers to embed Islam and rewrite our history. When we object, they scream Islamophobia. Their super PAC floods our elections, mosque-run voter drives. Besides me is 15-year-old Marco Hunter Lopez. He will tell you how the Muslim Brotherhood student arm founded in Texas by Yasser Qadi's father is targeting Texas children. For speaking out, Marco's safety was threatened. Our nation's leaders are failing our children. Member of Congress, the American people are awake. Washington is not. We must choose the Constitution of the Quran, America or the Caliphate, freedom or submission. There is no middle ground.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. Most of you people, because you have a good moral compass, you guys are good, inherently good people. That's why you feel uneasy about criticizing groups of people. You say, no, maybe I shouldn't single out Muslims. It's a group. It's above that. It's beyond that. You're not criticizing individual Muslims. Individual Muslims, yeah, sure, there are some good, decent individual Muslims too, but they are irrelevant. We are talking about Islam as a doctrine, as a political doctrine, as an ideology, as a movement that is inherently anti-Western. It wants to take over. You don't have to listen to Amy Mack. You don't have to listen to me. Listen to Muslims themselves. Look at this.
So the Quran teaches you to hate.
Al-Hadith too.
Yeah, Quran and the Hadith. I tell you boastfully, again, boastfully tell you this. Look at this.
It is from our religion that we have to hate them for the sake of Allah. We love what Allah loves, and on the opposite of that, we hate what Allah hates.
Let's not beat around the bush. We don't love each other. We're not on the same page. We are not friends. Does that make sense? We are enemies.
We're enemies. They tell you that. They tell you that they hate you. This is why this guy is saying, yeah, well, the Quran tells us to hate the infidels, the Hadith, i.e. the quotes of Muhammad. They tell us to hate the infidels. What do you think is going to come out of that hatred? What do you think? Are they going to give you flowers? They're going to give you a kiss on your cheek? No, they're going to give you two options. Either convert or die.
Well, the Quran does say a lot of verses about killing the Jews and enslaving the Jews and, killing the infidels. Do you think that's okay?
That's okay, of course. You should pay the jizya.
How is that religion of peace, dude?
It's not.
Doesn't matter if you think it is no peace or it is peace. We don't care about that. The opinion of the infidels never matter. We do our job and we will finish it.
All right. Yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying there. I don't agree with it, but I understand. I mean, it's not the first time that I heard that. What about Europe? Do you think Europe is gonna convert to Islam?
Yes.
And when Islam will become bigger in numbers in Europe, because Muslims bring more children.
Yes.
What's going to happen to the Europeans? Let's say the Germans. Once Muslims become 50% of Germany, what's going to happen then?
Not even 50%, guys. You only need a highly radicalized, dogmatic, ideological people to bring about a revolution. All of these idiots think that, oh, hang on, Muslims are only 7 or 8%. They have a long way to go. They have to get to 50%. It's going to be another 50 years before they get to 50%. Even that 50 years is not a long time. But you don't need to get to 50%. You only need a few tens of thousands of highly motivated, dogmatic, ideological people to bring about a revolution. That's it.
You should pay the jizya and the Islamic State or exist from there or die.
And gay people, if they're gay, let's say.
Gay people. Oh, gay people.
Zach Polanski, are you watching this? Owen Jones, you idiot.
Those faggots will pay the fucking biggest shit, like falling them down.
But a lot of the gay people actually support you guys. They actually defend the Muslims. They have Queers for Palestine. They're like your biggest supporters.
We don't care about those fucking stupid, fake supporters of Islam.
I would, if Zach Polanski, Owen Jones are the first victims, I'm not going to cry about that. So, as Amy Mack said, there's no middle ground. Stand up for America because Europe didn't stand up for it. Europe is growing a spine now. European people are growing a spine now. The politicians didn't. The politicians sold them out. And half of your political elite has sold America out too. But let's not forget, Biden opened up U.S.'s southern border to millions of illegals. You have no idea who those people are. America is the last bastion of Western civilization. If America falls, that's it. We will officially enter the second dark ages. So let me end this on this. I know a lot of people feel uneasy that, how do we differentiate? What's a good Muslim? What's a bad Muslim? No, they're only bad Muslims and they are irrelevant Muslims. I'm not saying every Muslim is dreaming about taking over the West. I'm not saying that, but they are irrelevant. I always give this example. Only 25% of the German population voted for Hitler. Only 25%. What happened to the other 75%? They didn't vote for him. There were actually 50 plots to assassinate Hitler. Not one succeeded. One guy came close. But what happened to them? Nothing. They became irrelevant. Their women were raped by the Red Army. Their houses got bombed by the Allies. It happened. Those 75% of the German people who didn't vote for Hitler, they got invaded. They got bombed nonetheless because they became irrelevant. As I said, you don't need 50% of your population. That's a democratic worldview. And even in democracies, you don't need 50-50, 51-49. A party that gets 35% of the votes can form a government. That's stupid. That's a very stupid way of looking at it. And we have seen in the UK leading the charge, and Australia and America, every 10 years, their population literally doubles. They go from 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. You know why that is? And our taxpayers are paying for the privilege. Look at this. This is the Netherlands. Those Dutch people are working 9 to 5. They're working hard. They're paying taxes because Europe really loves to tax its people. For these people who give nothing, who bring nothing to the table, they're making babies at their expense. And it's the same things happening in America as well. America is much bigger, so you may not feel the pinch yet, but it is happening. You saw what happened. You saw what the Somalis did in Minnesota. We've got these Middle Eastern people doing a similar type of scam here in Australia. I don't believe that it's organic. I used to believe that maybe it's organic. I don't believe it's organic. It is. One day the truth is gonna come to the surface, and our jaws will. Some people's jaws will literally drop. I don't even buy that anymore. I think this is being done on purpose. So please, America, no Western country should fall to Islam. If there's any country that is likely to fall, that is the UK. Our treasonous Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is selling Australia. It breaks my heart, but there's a bit of hope. As long as Uncle Sam survives, we can be rescued. We can be liberated. Even if the UK falls to Islam, I think as long as America survives, it can be liberated.